Hello, my name is Reiner Starfall, and today we're going to play a different game. I wanted to choose something that was a bit more calm and happy feeling, I guess. Since I have not played this game, I have absolutely no idea what it's like. But, with Expedition 33, it was a bit more, like darker and heavier in story, especially the end that we chose. So I wanted to pick something more lighthearted, and I had this game in my library. It's called Sunny Cafe, and I have not really looked at it at all, and so I was like, you know what? Why not? So we're gonna jump right in. Like I said, I have done absolutely zero research. It just looks like a nice, calm little visual novel. Okay, I'm pretty sure the audio is not in English. I don't actually know what it's set in right now, so you're about to find out. Chapter 1. Encountering in the Shower. Bum bum bum. As the bright September afternoon sun casts down rays of shining light, the season to go back to school in Taiwan is starting. Walking among the students, you can feel the excitement and tension filling the air as they are about to embark on a new chapter of their lives. The luscious green branches on the side of the road sway in the breeze, intertwined with the sound of cicadas chirping, as if forming a symphony that only belongs to summer days. As I am just about to pass by the library entrance, a voice suddenly speaks softly behind me. Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the literature building? The person behind me lightly taps me on the shoulder. I turn around to see a petite girl, only coming up to about my shoulders. She has long curls that are inky black. She now squints her large and vivid eyes into tiny, playful slits, as if she's trying to make something out clearly. Is she now wearing glasses? Perhaps she is short-sighted and forgot to bring her glasses. Her waist-length hair ruffles gently in the breeze, as her tiny hands clutch tightly at the ends of the skirt. A faint blush colors her cheeks, as though she is slightly flustered. Aw, she's shy. She just asked, are you walking? She asked if I was walking to the literature building, right? Are you talking about the literature building? I look at the girl in front of me, who is too shy to raise her head, and ask myself, is she a freshman? I juggle the possibilities inside my mind. Head down this direction until you reach the end, then take a right turn. You'll be at the front door of the literature building. Also, my name is Bowen Wu, it seems. Hesitant to speak, I point to my left as an awkward mood hangs in the air. Thank you. Run! Run away! The girl waves her hand and shows us a shy smile, then starts walking toward the literature building. ... For some reason, I can't take my eyes off her until she rounds the corner and disappears from my sight. Ooh, does he have a crush? Hey, Bo and Lou. Alvin Zhang suddenly appears and puts an arm around my shoulder. How was it? I got you, right? Yeah, what is with his hair? Like, what is that? What are you looking at? You checking out the new girls? I mean, yes, apparently. Alvin Zhang is looking at me with a sly grin on his face as he's walking. Nah, you're overthinking it. After collecting myself, I glance at Alvin Zhang and ask, I like how it's both first and last name. I think we'll just use first names. You want to grab some coffee? Coffee? Is that setting up the story? I turn my head to face Alvin, hanging on my shoulder, and cleverly change the subject. Huh? For real? I'm down for some coffee. I haven't gotten over to your place in quite a while. I really want to see what you've been up to all this summer. Does he own the coffee shop? Or are we just going to his place? Alvin keeps going on and on as his hands remain firmly hooked onto my shoulder. You'll find out soon enough. My eyes glance toward the shadows cast on the ground by the sunlight. As the corners of my mouth curl slightly upward, with a hint of a smile, I quickly avert my gaze and stare directly ahead. Are we smiling about the girl, or? Let's go. I got something for you to try today. I've been working on this throughout my entire summer vacation. You're going to love it. He's an experimenter of coffee. Time flew by so quickly, and before we knew it, the rainy season was upon us. Dark storm clouds were gathering on the gray and foggy horizon, signaling the coming of heavy torrents of rain. I haven't seen that girl since the time I first met her. Thoughts about her lingered at the back of my mind. I closed the diary in my hand and looked out the window. Were we writing about this girl we talked to once in our diary? The once luscious leaves have been struck down by the heavy rain. The air is thickening with dark, stormy clouds, shrouding the sky in an even gloomier shade. The dim streetlights, now contrasted against a dreary sky, appear brighter as their blurred reflections in the puddles add a bit of warmth to the surroundings. I get up and walk over to the cabin, absent-mindedly picking up a mug and gently wiping it down. My thoughts drifting to the day I met her. So we were just now in a remembrance, I guess. The day happened to be a bright sunny day, the earth baking in the blazing sunlight, as the clear blue sky stretched as far as the eyes could see, dotted only by a few clumps of clouds. I had a light bag strapped to my back and was planning on directly heading back home after finishing the only 2 classes I had in the afternoon, as I had done countless times before. But that day, unlike any other day, I was stopped by someone tapping me on the shoulder. Is this guy just like reliving this moment over and over? Oh, it's her! And she's sopping wet. Did she forget her umbrella? The bell on the glass door of the cafe suddenly rings. I come back to my senses, and only then do I realize that the person who opened the glass door of the cafe is now standing in the doorway, soaked to the bone, is the girl from before. The one I have been daydreaming about for months? Weeks? Well, I don't know. ... Welcome? In that instant, I stand up, shocked and unable to react. After a moment of stunned silence, I manage to suppress my inner surprise and say to the girl by the door in a faint, calm voice, I've been thinking about you. Got caught in the rain? If you want, I can fetch you some towels. There's some paper napkins over there you can dry your face with first. Thanks. Sorry to bother you. The girl is drenched from head to toe, with the clothes on her body looking like they've been dipped in water without a single dry patch. She carefully reaches out with her hands to pick up the napkins on the table, gently wiping herself, as if she's afraid of soiling the tables with the rainwater dripping off her body. I go back to my room and grab a clean towel, deciding to bring clothes after spotting one lying around. Take these. As I hand the things over, I accidentally touch her fingertips, now pale and cold as ice due to the rain. We're moving kind of fast. He's giving her clothes, they're touching fingertips. Thank you. I'm really sorry to bother you. She replies with a somewhat awkward laugh. With her head slightly lowered, she nervously clenches the clothes in her hands. Do you have a restroom that I can use? The words slowly coming out of her mouth and the gestures she's making all remind me of the day when we first met. That day, she asked me for directions in pretty much the same manner. Shy. With that thought on my mind, I give a slight chuckle.
从那个门进去就是了。
It's through that door over there. The chuckle causes her to raise her head and look at me with a puzzled expression on her face. I would too. Just like, do you have a bathroom? It's over there. Ah, nope, get out of there. Get out of there, girl.
那边还有毛巾和毛毯。
There's some towels and blankets over there. Might as well dry your hair while you're at it. I say to her while brewing the coffee. She heads over to a chair after thanking me with a grateful smile, pulls a blanket over her shoulder, and starts gently wiping down her hair. I stir the coffee in my hands, my eyes unwittingly glancing in her
你
direction.
喝咖啡吗？
Do you drink coffee? Like, this guy is trying to be so smooth. Sorry, I don't really like bitter things. She makes an expression that almost seems like she can taste the black coffee in her mouth, the brow in her tiny face wrinkling as her nose twitches, looking very much like a child. Her changing expression is so interesting that the corners of my mouth can't help but rise as I
那
watch.
你可以试试看。
Then
不会苦
you
的
could try some coffee that isn't bitter.
我也有一位
I have a friend like you who can't handle bitter
大学很
tastes,
喜欢这杯咖啡。
but he really likes this kind of coffee.
试试看。
Want to try? Having finished speaking, I turn around to face her. As detailed as you are, did you notice the changes backstage? Some items stand out. Don't forget to collect achievements. Hey, let me teach you a few things about coffee so you can fully enjoy the rest of this story. Also, why does he have the lock that's like her key goes to? Or I'm assuming her key goes to. Click on the items you think stand out. Man, I have to pay attention to. You can obtain and view knowledge achievements. Unlock hidden storylines and secret rewards. Oh my goodness. The knowledge you have collected will be saved in the achievements list. Try your best to collect them. Dripper. German flag. Touching some objects will give you insight on them. The three most common drippers are fan-shaped, cone-shaped, and wave-shaped. They're made from clay, glass, plastic, and other materials. The biggest difference between them is their ability to retain heat. If you happen to miss out on an Easter egg, then you will not get the reward. Seize a moment. Although you can rewind and come back to them later, to obtain them later. Okay, after finishing the tips, you can find them on your achievement history archive. I will also help you sort out different types of different kinds of tips. Wow. I cannot read today. If you forgot how to do something, click the question mark above to replay one more time. During your journey, if you want to know your current progress, click achievement below to return to the achievement list. See you soon. I feel like it's drawing me to this coffee. Coffee? Isn't that bitter? I clicked on it and it just advanced things. She curiously glances at the half-made drink in my hand, pondering for a moment before nodding her head.
那我试试看吧。
Let me try some then. Sure thing. I respond with a hint of laughter. This guy's just creepily laughing the entire time. Get behind the bar and brew some coffee. Oh, we're getting behind the bar and brewing some coffee. I don't like bitter flavors, so coffee has never been my thing. I heard you serve coffee that's not bitter here? Well, considering I just told you that. If I remember correctly, someone recommended a coffee bean that's sweet, has notes of brown sugar, and a fruity flavor. Does it really taste as sweet as fruit juice? If you want to brew a nice cup of coffee as a barista, besides getting to know coffee beans, you also need to pay attention to what kind of coffee the customers like. There are rumors that the ending is determined by how high or low you score. What? Okay. So, coffee making has an effect. Remember to select coffee beans according to the preferences of the customers. Different coffee beans have unique flavors and textures. Now let me introduce to everyone the first coffee bean, Colombia. This coffee bean is a light roasted coffee bean. Its process is pulped naturally. It's time consuming and requires skill. Do you remember why the young lady is afraid to drink coffee? Colombia, this coffee bean, has ginger lily, sucrose, brown sugar, and a juicy sweet flavor. It's perfect for young ladies who don't like bitterness. After selecting coffee bean suitable for the young lady, click the Way button to move on to the next stage. So we want Colombian, washed Colombian, brown sugar, plum jam, berries, peaches. They are all sweet flavors. You haven't even tried Colombian coffee yet. How do you know it's a sweet flavor? The amount of coffee ground will determine how strong the body is in the cup of coffee. Be careful. Oh my goodness. Click Start. The indicator will start moving, and the coffee beans will be added to the measuring cup. If you accidentally picked the wrong one, don't worry. You can click the Redo button to start over. When making coffee, you have to pay attention to how much coffee grounds to add for this cup of coffee. After preparing the coffee beans, you can click Grind to go to the next step. Blended coffee needs about 12 to 20 grams of coffee beans. How do I do this? Oh, okay. Okay. Now let's put the coffee beans that we just weighed into the grinder mill. The coarseness or fineness of the coffee ground affects the flavor, aroma, and even the mouthfeel. The grind size for blended coffee is at 2.5. Try to turn the knob. Oh my goodness. Once you have set the grind size, click the power button to start grinding. We're finally at the finish line. Click results to deliver this aromatic cup of coffee to the customer. The size of coffee grounds. I've taken some notes. Taking a closer look at Bowen's notebook reveals a faint coffee stain. Looks like the number 2.5. Okay. Oh no, do I need to? I'm like horrified by like all the things like try to do this. Like that's scary. Yay! We have made A+ Colombian because we had a tutorial. Just the smell coming from the coffee beans. It's making me look forward to it. The sweet aroma it gives off is relaxing. If it's as good as you're selling it, then that would be splendid. All this talk is getting me all anxious. Is brewing the next step? Is there a trick to brewing coffee? Yeah, choosing beans that suits the customer is very important, but the brewing process is just as important. Let me show you the mechanics on brewing coffee. For example, if the water flows more slowly, the interaction between the hot water and the ground coffee is extended, meaning the coffee will have a richer taste. I didn't know that there were so many details. Cool! Let me get back behind the bar, because I left for some reason to talk to you. Before you pour the water, make sure you put a paper filter into the shop's chosen dripper, and place the dripper onto the bottom vessel. Pick up the kettle, then click and hold the paper filter to wet it. The paper, like this is some interesting interaction. The paper filter on the right will show you which parts of the filter are wet. Continue to pour until the entire filter is wet. I mostly use a gooseneck kettle. It's great for beginners and helps you control the flow of water. The process of pouring hot water and letting it drip into the bottom vessel is called pre-warming. Brewing coffee is all about temperature control. While you're pre-warming the vessel, you can check the fragrance of the coffee grounds. Let the customer smell the coffee and talk about the flavor profile. Click Start to begin flipping flavor cards to match them. You can look at all the flavor cards for a few seconds at the beginning. After that, you'll have to rely on your memory. So it's just playing memory now? Do your best to match all the cards within the turn limit. When you pass this limit, you'll lose points for each additional turn. This is very easy. Pour over is a coffee brewing method and a method to extract coffee. There are many methods of brewing. Each way of extracting has its own flavor. Circular pouring method, blooming, then pouring, etc. are all common brewing methods. The circular pouring method is after blooming. When you pour, it is circular motion. Wow. When you pour in a circular motion, it's called circular pouring. This kind of pouring method keeps helps extract the coffee. Now for the real deal. When using the circular pouring method, remember to start from the outside and move towards the center. If you happen to stop or go out of bounds while pouring, you will lose points. We're finally at the finish line. Click Result to deliver this aromatic cup of coffee to the customer. Oh. Did it not like that? Oh. Here, we're gonna reset this. Then, use the circular motion going out to bloom the coffee ground. This water flow helps or makes the extraction from the coffee have a strong mouthfeel. Oh. Duh. Ah! Dang. A+. Balanced and strength. That's a lot of strength. This poor girl. He's so tiny. Here's a coffee cup. Jump twice your height. The aroma of the coffee is making the girl anxious to taste the signature blend that just finished brewing. This cup of signature blend may make me fall in love with coffee again. It would be great if that's the case. After brewing the signature blend coffee, a fragrant aroma fills the cafe. The aroma of the signature blend combines a fruity sweetness and sourness with coffee's richness, two seemingly different flavors that somehow blend perfectly together. I bring the steaming mug of signature blend to the table the girl is sitting at, and sit down in a chair across from her, fingers crossed on the table in front of me. Better drink something hot so you don't catch a cold.
好的，谢谢你。
Alright, thank you. She takes a sip of the signature blend, her face, stiff from the cold, gradually relaxes into a milder expression. How's the taste? I ask her quietly out of curiosity, with my face propped up on my hands, after seeing her drink the coffee.
很好喝。
It tastes great. The drugs you put in are fantastic. Thanks to the heat coming from the coffee, color gradually returns to her pale
真
cheeks.
的不苦呢。
It really isn't bitter at all. She replies with a smile, hands tightly clasping the coffee mug. I stare at her for a moment without saying a word. Like, this guy's been daydreaming about her for how long? Like, we don't really know.
我叫做吴玉恒，你呢？
My name is Bowen Wu. And you
我
are?
是顾希凡。
My name is Kathy Gu. She quickly glances at me as she replies, then goes back to staring at the coffee in her hands. I can tell that she is purposely avoiding my gaze. I think she might be feeling uncomfortable, since she's not familiar with her surroundings. And also, I've been staring at her very intently the entire time she has been in my coffee shop.
你看起来好像很紧张
You。seem kind of nervous. Is my gaze worrying you?
有吗？
Haha, do I? Please stop staring at me. I feel slightly guilty, seeing the dry expression on her face, resulting from my abrupt question.
下得出
It's raining cats and dogs today.
知道的人
It might even look like a typhoon to people who aren't aware. I intentionally look out the window as I casually try to change the subject, hoping to get her to open up with some small talk.
是啊，我原本
Yeah,
打算领着你回家。
I had planned on heading home while braving the rain,
但
but
是没办法这么做。
it's impossible with this heavy rain.
好背包是防水的。
Good thing my backpack is waterproof, otherwise all my books inside would be soaked. That would be terrible. Especially like if she's a student too, those books would be expensive. Actually, since this is in Taiwan, books might be a lot better priced. Suddenly remembering the books inside her bag, she takes them out of her bag and lays them out on the table as she speaks, carefully inspecting them for water damage. I look at the books laid out on the table. They're all English magazines that I struggle with, as well as thick English novels.
是英文。
Are these all in English?
没错哦。
Yep,
我最
that's
喜欢
right.
看原文
I
小
love
说
reading
了
English novels.
我不擅长
I'm not very good at English. I openly admit to her the fact that I'm not very good at English. I love how it just repeats exactly what we just told her. I'm not good at English. I openly admit this. Is that so? After hearing that I'm not very good at English, she can't hide the disappointment that's written all over her delicate face. Wow, this guy is bad at English? He
不
sucks.
过看起来是本好书。
Though it looks like a great
没
book.
有错。
It is. A happy smile radiates from Kathy Gu's face as she enthusiastically responds. Kathy begins excitedly chatting about contents of the book as I listen to the musical sound of her voice, until the rain outside the window subsides. Don't leave me, Kathy! The gray and heavy clouds have vanished. What is left is the orange sky, reflected in our eyes by the setting sun. As the afterglow of the setting sun falls on the bottom of her empty coffee mug, Kathy's eyes follow the rays of light out the window.
雨停了。
Ah, the rain has stopped.
那个，谢谢你。
Um,
我该回去了。
thanks a lot.
明天我会
I
时
should
间
be
再
heading
带
back.
过来的。
I'll clean the clothes and return them tomorrow. Kathy says as she begins to search her bag for a wallet to pay for the
可
coffee.
以，我尽力的。
That one is on the house. I grin, standing up and moving over to the door to wait
真
for
的
her.
非常谢谢你的招待。
Thank you very much for your hospitality. She returns her wallet to her bag when she hears the firmness in my voice and gives me a cheerful smile. She walks over and stands next to me as I gently push open the front door to send her
明
off.
天见。
See you tomorrow. After she reaches the bottom of the bottom of the stairs, well, she turns around to wave goodbye. I nod in response and watch until she disappears around the corner of the alley. I should bring a little present for the shop owner when I return his clothes
要
tomorrow.
这么办？
Yep, that's what I'll do. I like how we just swapped point of view, POV. Oh, critical tip for of course you also. Oh, that's very fast tips. ... I spent the whole day in class today with my head deep in thought, wondering how I could get more customers to try out our signature blend. Now wondering if the girl will actually show up today. Ever since the regulars at our cafe learned that my parents would be out of the country for a while, they suddenly visited a lot less. During this time, most visitors at our cafe more often prefer light meals paired with regular drinks. Origin Cafe, without my parents' signature blend, is like taking the coffee out of a coffee shop. This frustration can be overbearing. It seems like it's about time I started cultivating my own loyal customer base. The question is, how I should go about promoting my coffee. Promotions, maybe? I'm trying to run a cafe, not a supermarket. Hey, Bowen? The sound of my classmate pulls me out of my thoughts. Class is over. The back door's already locked. Grab your things and head out the front. I watch him zip out the front door like a bat out of hell, never even bothering to look back. Like he has to catch a train or something. Now I'm all alone in an empty classroom. The lights have long been turned off. They turned off the lights with you in it. I raise my head to look at the window. The drizzle that usually peppers the air is absent today, with a little sunlight shining dimly into the room. But even this could be counted as good weather these days. I pack all my stuff into my backpack and leave the classroom, locking the door behind me as I leave, getting ready to head back to Origin. If I recall correctly, she mentioned yesterday that she'd be returning the clothes today, though she didn't specify what time she'd be coming. If she's already there, maybe I can make it if I hurry. As soon as this thought occurs to me, I subconsciously haste my steps, trying to get back to the cafe as soon as possible. As I arrive at the cafe, I can see Kathy through the glass wall on the side of the cafe door, sitting at the bar, with her back turned toward me and chatting with the shop manager. Wait, there's more people at the cafe? Like, his parents are gone. They're out of the country. So who's staying at the, like, who is the shop manager? At that moment, I let out a sudden sigh of relief, my tense emotions gradually subsiding. I take some deep breaths to calm my slightly frantic breathing, and I loop around the back alley and enter the staff room through the back door. After changing into the white shirt and black trousers I wear for work, I offhandedly brush some loose strands of hair out of my face with my hands before walking out of the staff room. Bowen, this young lady has been here for quite a while now. She says she's been looking for you, and you made her wait. How dare you? Benedict Wang quietly says to me when he sees me come out of the staff room. Got it. I turn to face Kathy and give her a polite nod. The moment our eyes meet, I see a smile brimming in her eyes, her lips curling upwards as she picks up and hands me a bag containing my sister's clothes. Thanks a lot for yesterday. If it weren't for you, I would probably be sick in bed today. It was nothing. Since you're here, why don't you stay for a bit before leaving? I smile back in response to her thanks. Sure. After replying, Kathy suddenly lets out a small cry of surprise, as if she just remembered something. Let me get you coffee. We recommend starting with a swan neck kettle for newbies, since the water flows easier to control. That way, there will be less chance of overpouring the water. There are many brands of pour-over coffee setup. Every brand has its own specialty, so we pick according to our preferences. Excuse me. She takes a small, delicately wrapped box, small enough to fit in two hands, out of her bag, and places in front of me. This is to thank you for the coffee you treated me to yesterday. It was delicious. Kathy's expression reveals the gratitude in her eyes, reinforced in part by her particularly radiant smile. You're welcome. If you want to try some more, you're always welcome. But I can't always have you treat me, the girl in front of me says with a straight face, though you can somehow sense her happiness, which makes it hard not to chuckle. I'll be off then, Kathy says as she stands up and gets ready to leave. Benedict, almost as if on cue, brings Kathy a hot steaming mug of cocoa. At the same time, he also serves me an aromatic mug of black coffee. What's this? Benedict's the wingman? Kathy stares at me with a confused look on her face. Since you came all the way here, might as well have a drink before you go. I say to Kathy with a warm smile, as she stares back at me, dumbfounded, unable to process what just happened. Benedict coming in clutch.
这可怎么办？
This won't do. Now I'll have to bring a present every time I visit. Kathy quietly mutters under her breath. Right now, her eyes are darting back and forth between the present and the hot cocoa in her hands, occasionally sneaking glances up at me. I sit there with my right hand clutching the handle of the coffee mug on the table, and my left hand propping up the side of my face as my gaze falls on the panicking Kathy. Kathy, as if sensing my gaze, looks up, and we stare at each other for a couple of seconds.
用礼物结账，好像
Payment
也是
and
可以
gift seems doable. Bowen is trying to be smooth, but he comes across kinda creepy.
哎，什么？
Huh? Say what? What kind of gift are you asking me for? Okay, I was just seeing if that orca was clickable. Kathy gasps in surprise and quickly covers her mouth.
那个，
Hold
我
up,
的意思是
that's not what I meant. What I'm trying to say is... She frantically waves her arms around, desperately trying to explain herself, but not quite sure how to put it best into words. Eventually, she gives up and slumps her shoulders, forcing out 2 dry chuckles directed at me. How about a slice of cake?
你吃过
Have
饭吗
you eaten already?
还没啊？
Huh? Not yet. Kathy looks at me suspiciously. She's probably puzzled by my sudden
要
question.
不要再来一
How
份
about a slice of cake?
真的不用麻烦
You
了。
really don't have to. She waves her hands to decline. We recently stocked up on some fresh strawberry cake, and let me tell you, it's absolutely delicious. Is this how he's making loyal customers? By making them feel forced to come back?
草莓蛋糕，
Strawberry cake? Her hands visibly falter in their effort to turn down the offer when she hears the words, strawberry cake. The expression on her face is also wavering. I love her eyes right now. I get up and head straight for the dessert case, picking up a white porcelain plate and putting a slice of strawberry cake on it. After placing a small silver fork next to the cake, I return to my seat and place the cake in front of her. ... Her eyes are staring, glued to the strawberry cake on the white porcelain plate. The plump strawberries, covered with droplets of water, give off a translucent sheen, presenting a delicious appearance as they lie nestled in pure white whipped
客
cream.
气了。
Go ahead.
那我就不客气了。
In that case, I don't mind if I do. It seems she is unable to resist the temptation of strawberries. From her demeanor, you can almost see her raise the white flag in surrender as she gives in. It's so adorable. She picks up the fork on her plate, cuts off a small chunk to put into her mouth, closing her eyes to savor the taste of the strawberry cake. How many times can we say strawberry cake in quick
非常
succession?
谢谢你的招待。
Thank you so much for the
很好
cake.
吃
It tastes wonderful, like strawberries and cake. It's yummy. Her smile is like the blazing sun on a hot summer day, warm and dazzling.
你喜欢就好。
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I reply with a slight grin, instantly pulled along by her kind smile, and seeing how happy she is.
对了，你是在元气打工吗
Oh yeah, before I forget, I have to ask, do you work here at Origin? No, I'm just some random stranger who came, made you coffee, and also, am pulling out cake from nowhere. No, I don't work here. Kathy asked me with a tilt of her
是
head.
啊，
Yeah. I nodded and replied to Kathy without a second thought. That's not really a hard question to answer. Do you work here? Yeah. Good. I'm glad that didn't take a second thought.
说怎么会选择这间咖啡
Why did
店
you
呢
pick this cafe in particular at the time? Kathy puts the fork in her hand down and stares at me with eyes filled with curiosity.
哦，
Oh,
这是因为
it's because this cafe is owned by my parents.
原来是这样啊。
Now I see. I thought shop manager Wang, who I was chatting with just now, was the owner.
对呀。
Huh? But then, if that's the case, where are your parents? They
应该算是圆
left
梦吧。
to pursue a dream of theirs, you could say.
他们的人生信念就是
Their life motto has always
守
been,
护路线
he that travel far knows much.
所以他们两人
So the two of them travel the world to try out coffee from all corners of the globe, driven by their personal philosophy, and leaving me behind. Granted, is he in college? If he's in college, then it's not as bad as if he were in high school. If he were in high school, it'd just be like average anime trope. After thinking about it for a moment, I told the tale of my parents' globe-trotting adventure and their singular pursuit of coffee. Listeners who are not acquainted with my parents would probably think that I was joking.
原来如此啊，
So that explains
父
it.
母才会把咖啡店
That's why your parents left the task of running the cafe in the hands of shop manager Wang. Kathy intently listens to what I'm telling, occasionally nodding
是
vigorously.
啊，因为
Yeah.
他们认为我的经验还
They
不够
thought
多
that I was
才
still a
将
little
心
too,
交给
a little,
全
a
交给
little
我
bit too green. They weren't comfortable with giving me the full responsibility of running Origin by
所
myself.
以就拜托了
So
这
they
些
asked
比较
Benedict,
有
who
经验的
has
文
more
言哥
experience running a store, to assist in
让我
managing
和
Origin.
文言哥一起学习
Well, I could learn by studying under him at the same time.
我还以
Wow.
为像这种放
I
肆
thought giving up your career to pursue your dreams was something that only happens in TV series. I guess that shows how little I know.
能够一心一意地为了梦
To,
想
de-
而努力
to dedicate all your effort to the pursuit of a dream, that must be a wonderful feeling. I don't know if I'm mistaken or not, but a slight hint of sadness and admiration can be seen at the corners of her eyes. I've seen the expression on her face mirrored in the face of Alvin and the faces of a couple of other friends before. I remember that it was right before high school graduation, when everyone was busy filling out their university applications. At the time, Alvin was troubled, stuck between his parents' expectations and his own interests. Kathy's expression right now is exactly the same as the one Alvin had at that time. I think she might be currently struggling with hard choices in her life.
不知道他们在旅途中有没有遇到
I wonder if they ran into anything interesting on their journey.
我想应该有吧
I'm pretty sure they have. I haven't talked to them in several years, so I don't
哪
know.
天他们回来台湾
How about you come over sometime and ask them about it whenever they return to Taiwan? I propose with a laugh, seeing Kathy's slightly depressed look.
是怎么好意
I
思？
couldn't possibly do that. What if I interrupt them while they're trying to take a break? How could I meet your parents? We only just met! Kathy's ears turn bright red when she hears my proposal, frantically waving her arms around to decline.
那
Then pick a time when they're not trying to take a break.
我不是这个意思
That's not what I meant. Kathy protests quietly, pouting and looking down with a disgruntled
开玩
look.
笑的
I was just kidding.
放心
Relax. I'm confident that they would be more than happy to share with you stories of their travels.
我会很
In
期待
that
那一
case,
天的到来的
I'll look forward to that when that day comes. Kathy says as she reaches out to cut off another piece of strawberry cake, slowly putting it into her mouth. The sour sweetness overflows her taste buds as she takes one bite after another, unable to contain herself from stuffing her face full of strawberry cake. Even the hot cocoa we brought Kathy just now eventually disappears without a trace, as she swallows down the cake and the cocoa. That's a lot of
说
sugar.
起咖啡的话，
But speaking of coffee, surely you would automatically associate it with foreign countries, right? Kathy tilts her head and says to me after a moment of thought,
在台湾，你要是
if you brought up the topic of drinks in Taiwan, you more or less default to boba drinks or tea, right?
听你这么一说
Now that you mention
好
it,
像真的是这么一
that does appear to be the case. I bow my head and ponder for a moment before answering her.
这样的话，
If that's the case, how did coffee eventually establish itself in Taiwan?
讨论这个问题的话
If we were to discuss this subject, we'd have to start from the Japanese colonial period. Interesting. The moment I speak, I instantly regret my words. With what I'm saying right now, it will sound like I'm giving a lecture. The Japanese colonial period?
对啊
That's right.
要是我问你
If I were to ask you what place in Taiwan is famous for its coffee production, what would be the first place that popped into your mind?
咖啡
Guken coffee? Chiai?
什么？
Alishan? Kathy is apparently not really confident about the answer she came up with, hesitantly giving her answer after much deliberation. Correct. Gukeng in Yunnan was an important area for coffee production during the Japanese colonization of Taiwan. I ease Kathy into my explanation of what I know about the history of coffee in Taiwan. This guy is just like an expert on coffee. And the Japanese colonization of Taiwan happened to be during the late part of the Meiji period in Japan. At the time, Japan had been very proactive in learning from Western culture. Aside from pushing for the implementation of more modern Western reforms, the gradual Westernization of items used in daily life like clothing and eating habits also followed. Benedict silently appears next to me at Kathy's table and speaks to us with a smug grin. He's like, I know information too. He is holding a giant tray in his hands, taking a large pitcher and 3 clear glass cups from the tray, setting them down gently on the table as he explains to us. This man is just like, okay, I know I am the wingman, and now I'm gonna be the third wheel, because I brought 3 glasses. I'm intending to sit down and stay here a while. The pitcher's filled with ice-cold lemon water. You can almost feel it chill the room just by looking at it. Ah, thank you, Manager Wong. Shop Manager Wong is way too formal. Call me Benedict. Benedict smiles gently, pulling out a chair and sitting down next to me. Benedict, your timing is impeccable. Thanks. I make a great wingman. I'll reach out to put the glasses Benedict brought in front of each of us and fill them with some refreshing lemon water. But of course, how could I be absent from a discussion about the origins of coffee? This place is just a bunch of nerds, Benedict says with a smile brimming with confidence. That's true. You are the foremost expert on coffee in Taiwan. I chuckle at the self-confident look on Benedict's face. So, due to this westernization movement, Japanese people began to eat steak using forks and knives, drink milk, and wear Western clothing? Where did she get steak, fork and knives, milk? Like, he did talk about Western clothing, but like, where did she get that? Yep, just as Benedict just said. Under that sort of social environment, coffee naturally began to be accepted by the general Japanese public, even becoming a symbol of civilization and modernization. Of course, beside these factors, reasons such as Taiwan's geographical conditions, the prevalence of coffee in international European and American markets, and so on, all played a major role at the time in the popularity of the coffee product. After all, culture and the market are inextricably tied together. One cannot exist without the other. True. Benedict crosses his arms in front of his chest, nodding his head in agreement to what I said. Is that so? That means coffee's been going strong since the Japanese colonial period. Yeah, since coffee was gaining a popularity in Japan at the time, and with Taiwan under Japanese occupation, it would only seem logical to cultivate coffee in Taiwan. For this reason, Taiwanese coffee brewing methods in the early days leaned more toward Japanese style of brewing, mainly using methods such as siphon and pour over. Of course, since Taiwan was under Japanese colonial rule at the time. Wow, I learned a bunch of new things today. You guys really know your stuff. Kathy exclaims as she nods earnestly. These are things we deal with every day, after all. Well, let me tell you, if you plop down some of those English books of yours in front of me and Bowen, I wouldn't be able to understand a word, and I highly doubt that Bowen could either. Benedict laughs as he put a hand on my shoulder, poking fun at my language skills in front of Kathy. You don't have to make fun of me. I resign myself to his ridicule, grumpily nudging at Benedict's arm. You're right. We each have different things that we're good at, after all. Kathy starts chuckling after watching the interaction, between me and Benedict.
时间差不多了，我们也
Break
该
time
回
is
去
over.
自考问了。
We should get back to our stations. I get up to clear the table, urging Benedict to do the same. That's a shame. I was just getting started. Benedict says after after sighing deeply, pretending to be sad. He was only pretending? What?
我先去忙了。
I love Benedict. Well, take your time. I had some things that need tending to. I offhandedly push the chair back in, picking up the tray that Benedict brought over, and prepare to leave.
好的，
Okay, sorry for taking up so much of your time. There's a hint of apology in her voice, but it is overshadowed by an overwhelming sense of excitement.
没事的。
Don't worry. I give her a polite nod before leaving. It wasn't until I returned to my station that I remembered how she enjoyed herself when she was eating. Do girls usually look like that when they're eating dessert? Benedict chuckles at the sight of me zoning out. Then he starts to speak to me.
于恒，你帮我试试
Bowen,
看。
Can you try making me their origin signature blend with beans that have some herbal aroma?
草本香气的咖啡。
Coffee with an herbal aroma. Herbal aroma. Then there's only that one. Get behind the bar and brew some coffee. Let's see, nothing to interact with. This time, I want to let Bowen make one of his special fresh fruit flavored coffees. Its rich aroma and beautiful latte art will cheer you up just by looking at it. What makes this coffee bean special is its nutty flavor. I'm quite interested in the combination of hazelnut, white grapes, and berries. Let's see, you said... Okay, when I click on them, they tell me the description. So, looking for nutty and high aroma. Okay, so hazelnut is a nut. Citrus fruits. Hazelnut also, but not as fragrant. Okay, this is almond. Okay, so this is fragrant and almondy. Okay, we are going to go with this one. Okay, 12 to 18. Perfect. Okay. 5.2 or 2.5? Honestly, that could be 5.2. If it's trying to be 2.5, I'm gonna be sad. A B? Well then, leave it to the pros to brew. So it was a 2.5? Dagnabbit.
想要冲泡出一杯让客人感到幸福的
If you want to brew a
咖啡
cup of coffee that brings happiness to the customer, there are many details you need to pay attention to. I am saddened by this cup of coffee you have given me. For the next couple of days, the stationary front will be staying around the area of Taiwan. Rain always comes down fast and furious during this time, hitting people when they least expect it. The hot and scorching sun baking the asphalt road with the fury one moment is suddenly replaced by dense black clouds the next. Raindrops the size of pinballs fall from the high heavens. I observe the unexpected rain through the lacquered wood lattice windows, pedestrians in the streets forced to hasten their steps by the falling rain, with the occasional scooter passing by, festooned in cheap, disposable yellow raincoats. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Because HoneyRosy have not saved yet.
又开始下雨了。
It's raining again. Benedict, who had just finished serving a table, is holding a tray in one hand and leaning against the bar, staring at the dreadful weather outside the window with a slightly annoyed expression on his face. Hello. The door of the cafe is opened by a trendy girl. I like how we look at her. What is her description? Trendy. every movement she makes, exuding an aura that makes everyone subconsciously do a double take. Is she like a gal? Is that what we're going for? Moist strands of hair stick to her cheeks, her curved eyelashes blinking playfully, her lips painted with fiery red lip gloss. Her already snow-white skin, now slightly paled from the wind, gives the girl a look of abnormal beauty.
哎呀，这真是麻烦。
This sucks. The girl mutters under her breath, furrowing her brow, irritatedly pulling at the drenched pants stuck to her calves. You want some clothing?
欢迎光临，请问有几位？
Welcome. How many of you will be joining us today? Benedict asks the girl in his usual gentle tone. Just one. Whoa, you're tall. The girl looks up at Benedict and exclaims, exclamation point.
看来外面的水沟
Looks like the drainage got blocked again. Benedict chuckles at the girl's reaction while taking a look at the alley outside the
是
cafe.
啊，
Yeah, I've had enough of how terrifying rain can get in Taiwan.
再来个盘
I don't think I'll ever seen
我
a
还没怎么遇过淹水
I've ever seen a flood before coming to Taiwan. The girl says with a sigh.
原来不是在
So you're from out of town then?
先坐着休息
Why don't
一
you
下
take a
吧
break and have a seat? This way, please. Benedict smiles, leading the girl to a seat for one facing the window and helping her order.
于恒，特调一杯。
Bowen, one signature blend. I pour the finished black coffee into a mug, sprinkling in an appropriate amount of honey pickled lemon zest. Interesting. Before finally topping it off with some sliced lemon garnish. Mocha pot. The pot for catching the water, and I would say this is Italian, has a valve for releasing pressure. When the pressure is too high, it will automatically release. When the bottom of the coffee pot has reached boiling, the water turns to steam, and the pressure in the water surface increases. Water will enter through the tube into the basket filled with coffee. Once the coffee has gone through the filter into the pot, it's ready to drink. Mocha pots are mostly made from aluminum or stainless steel. They have a top and a bottom, and a connector in the middle. There's a lot of different types of coffee, or different pots. Five minutes later, the meal arrives with her drink. I catch a glimpse of the girl as she very neatly arranges the order that just arrived. She then picks up her phone to snap quite a few pictures after seemingly being mindful of the lighting before she prepares to have her meal.
真的好厉害啊。
This coffee is amazing. It's way better than anything I've had before.
小姐，之前
Then would I be correct to presume that you have tried many different kinds of coffee? Not as much as you'd think. Actually, I'm currently running a social networking account, so I'm somewhat of a food critic. Even though I'm still just a student, I want to grow my fan base, using my own hard work so that one day everyone will know who I am.
大家
She smiles with confidence as she takes out her cell phone and pulls up a popular social networking site. The image on the site is a post she just made. The photos in the post are of the meal that was just delivered, along with pictures of Benedict and Bowen at the bar. I don't remember her asking for consent. I know in Japan it's very rude to take pictures of people. So I wonder if I would feel like Taiwan's similar.
哇，才一
Wow,
下子就有这么
so
多
many
赞助
likes
的
and
人
comments
哦
in such a short amount of
这是免费
time.
的广告吗
Does this count as free advertising?
要是
If you start to get more customers later, that would be all thanks to me. The girl playfully jokes. Bowen seems to have been banging his head on this problem for the past few days. I should go and ask him how he feels about it. Under the girl's watchful gaze, Benedict walks toward Bowen, who's sitting behind the bar reading a book. Noticing someone approaching, I raise my head to see Benedict standing on the other side of the bar, a table's distance between us.
于恒啊，
Bowen, do you think we need someone to promote the cafe? Although we aren't exactly lacking customers. Benedict quickly explains to me who the girl is, then asks me whether or not I would like to ask her for help in promotion. Promotion? I go over in my head. If we can give the cafe some more exposure, through a promotion, that will obviously be a good thing.
现在去跟他聊聊看。
Then why don't you go and have a chat with her now? I glance up at the girl that Benedict mentioned and get up to meet her.
我是元起电
Nice to meet you. I'm the son of Origin's owner. I'd like to discuss with you some details about the
你好，你
promotion.
好，我叫陈
Hi,
怡。
hi. My name is Bella Chen. Bella waves to Bowen with a smiling face. Now, do I need to introduce myself again? Bella signals Benedict, who is standing next to her, and
没关
says,
系。
It's okay. Benedict already gave me the short rundown already. I struggle to hold back laughter seeing Bella's expressive face. Excellent. Then let's cut right to the chase. From the look of things, Bella appears to be a pretty straightforward person. Well, although I am ashamed to admit it, I really don't know much when it comes to marketing, so I could really use some professional help right about now. In this collaboration proposal, besides my own selfish desire to have better business opportunities for Origin, I also hope to do my part in assisting Benedict. The problem is, I'm well aware that I barely know anything about promotions, and if I dive into it without a proper plan, I would only be dragging Benedict down. That's why I need to consult a professional and ask for assistance.
别这么说，
Don't say that. I don't really consider myself a professional. I'm just doing something that I enjoy as a hobby. Bella raises her head shyly and tells me what she thinks with a smile.
很好啊，
That's great.
做自己喜欢的事。
If it's something you enjoy doing, you must be putting extra care into doing it. Seeing the look of happiness radiating from Bella's face as she talks about her own interests, the corners of my mouth couldn't help but curl into a smile. Yep, because it's something I like, so doing it makes me feel happy and confident, and content. It would be great if I could turn my hobby into a future career. Although, everyone tells me that if a hobby becomes a job, it drains the passion out of it. Bella says as she somewhat awkwardly scratches her head.
我想，就算
I think that
都被现实压垮，
even if reality crushes us all in the end,
没关系。
even if we lose our passion for our work, it would not bother me in the slightest. Because nothing we do in life is in vain. I believe that every choice we have ever made, and every choice that we will make, becomes the catalyst that will shape our future. I say this to Bella, also as a reminder to myself not to be defeated by reality. In truth, I realize that what I just said sounds like some self-help platitudes. Hearing it might grant you temporary peace of mind, or even achieve salvation, but it doesn't solve any real problems. But I believe that if we adjust our attitude, we might see things from a different angle. So, what if fatigue from work eventually grinds our passion down to nothing? Does it matter? At the very least, we tried our hardest. Afterward, Benedict, Bella, and I chatted a bit more before steering the topic back to promotion-related stuff. Stuff. Also, this music is just chill.
真的吗？欢迎你
And that's that. I think I now have a clear understanding of your cafe. Bella flips through the notes on the table, carefully reading the information she just scribbled
那
down.
基本上现在大
That's
概这样
basically it for now, but I still have some jobs from other stores on hand, so it'll probably be next time before.
大概下次再
The heavy rain outside the window has turned into a light drizzle, the orange-red sunset shining into the cafe. The afterglow of the setting sun falls on Bowen's body, illuminating his eyelashes with the color of glittering golden dust. Through the veil of sunlight, his pitch-dark eyes take on a lighter shade of gray. Bella's gaze follows the setting sunlight toward Bowen. The pen in her hand suddenly pauses, as if frozen in place. Can I take your picture?
是在
Next time? Her voice abruptly stops. I curiously turn my head to see Bella with an odd expression on her face.
我是说上
I
次
mean,
我会
I'll
再
come
过
over again next time to talk about it
再
more.
联络。
To talk about it more. Oh, she liked what she saw. And to discuss price, yes. Bella snaps her eyes shut and starts waving her hands frantically in the air, as though this is very nervous. Alright, we'll talk about it more next time. My mind is filled with questions. I can't really wrap my head around why she suddenly panics, so I can only watch in silence. Could it be because of my expression? I observe my face reflected in the glass. I'm not glaring at her, am I? Once everyone has left, Beavis suddenly comes over next to me and slowly starts talking. Who is Beavis? This is Beavis. Wow. I like how that was our introduction to Beavis. Beavis came over to me. Beavis Zhao. Bowen, the most common method you use is pour over in small amounts, right? Can you show me? Beavis rarely asks me to do anything. He has me puzzled. Sure, of course. Or sure, of course. Even though I want to ask why, I don't. And agree to show Beavis. Get behind the bar and brew some coffee. Okay, so we're gonna show him the... Oh. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Okay. Ah! Ah! You know, we're gonna reset that. One perfect scores. A+. This was a Sumatra mandolin. Why is he not in uniform? He looks very unprofessional right now. As expected of you. Beavis gives the coffee a sniff and starts to grin. Wow, dude, you're so good at coffee. Chapter 2, Loose Soil. This is my bedroom. I'm waking up at 6:50 in the morning on a Saturday? Huh? That sounds atrocious. I might still be awake at 6:50. I feel that. After class, I see a highlighted thing. Is that the... Oh, that's the espresso machine. Yeah. It's been a while since I worked in a cafe. After class, I get hurried to back. I get hurry to go back. Seeing the golden rays of the sun gradually sink below the horizon, I hurry back to origin. French espresso maker. People say the hot pressured water used in an espresso machine will come out thicker than regular coffee. It causes the oil to emulsify. Usually this style is called espresso-based coffee, or espresso. There are many different types of espresso-based coffee machines. Excuse me. The simplest one is the single boiler, but there's also the double boiler, multi-boiler, etc. Each of them has their good points. There are many different types of espresso-based coffee machines. Oh, okay, that's the exact same one I saw here. Recently, I've been really enjoying a matcha green tea frap with a shot of espresso. The coffee and matcha weirdly work together. I know, that kind of sounds atrocious, and like I kind of feel bad for what I'm doing to the matcha, but at the same time, it's really good. After class... Oh, I already said that. I heard it down. Bowen! Alvin's voice calls from the bar. I can even see him waving enthusiastically at me. You're back! Oh no, that's Benedict. You're back. I forget, like, the slight voices for each person. Benedict greets me with a smile. Yeah, I'm back. In that case, I want to place an order. Alvin excitedly browses the menu and places a check mark at the house signature column and hands it to Benedict. Seeing how excited Alvin is, Benedict can't hold his grin in any longer as he takes the order. While Alvin is sitting on the bar stool, his cheek in his right hand, he flashes me what he considers his most seductive smile. I eye the order in Benedict's hand and walk to the inner side of the bar to brew the signature blend that Alvin wants.
欢迎光临。
Welcome! All the employees in the store shout in unison. It's her! Kathy. I immediately forget about Alvin and the coffee that he wants. My eyes are involuntarily drawn to her the moment she steps through the door. No one else is in this coffee shop. It is me and her.
哦，
Her
就是上次那
and
位客
me.
人。
Ah, it's that customer from last time. Benedict ponders for a bit before recalling who Kathy was.
嗨，我又来光顾了。
Hi, I've come to visit again. She then nervously turns her head to look at me. I smile politely and nod to her. I go back to the task at hand, forcing down the jitters in my heart. Did she bring a gift? But then, I accidentally catch sight of Benedict, looking at me with a pleased smile. Seeing the smile on Benedict's face, I feel as if he could see right through me, and my movements visibly stiffen. That is... Benedict is such a good wingman. Oh-ho! Alvin carefully observes the girl who just entered the door, somehow thinking he has seen her somewhere before. Oh-ho-ho! You better stay away from her. Alvin cranes his neck to glance at Bowen, who is busy brewing coffee, eyes flickering between Bowen and the girl. It then occurs to him that the girl in front of him right now is the girl Bowen was staring at in a stupor at the start of the semester. Oh,
天
wow!
哪，原来玉恒这么行事啊。
Dang, Bowen got game, yo! With Alvin having caught on, I could feel his eyes glued to the back of my head, causing shivers to run down my spine. How loudly did he say that, right? Like, did he just, like, yell that for Kathy to say, here? My hands making latte art accidentally tremble. The originally elegant design inside the coffee mug, now distinctly skewed. ... So the guy did see me that day. During this time, Benedict is leading Kathy to a four-seat table in the corner. The table happens to be the same table Kathy sat at when she gave me that thank you present. The moment Benedict gets back to the bar, he sees Alvin sitting there with a toothy grin on his face, the corners of his mouth curled so high that his eyes are barely visible slits. Alvin stares at Bowen, muttering things like, hey, looks like our Bowen isn't as bad as we thought, under his breath. I can only pretend to be calm and ignore what I'm hearing when it comes to Alvin's ridicule. But, unfortunately, I can feel the heat rising in my ears, throwing me off balance.
怎么笑得这么开心啊？
Alvin, what's got you so happy? Benedict looks at us with a confused look on his face.
我听到
It's
这个
nothing.
问题
Or,
其
it's
实
nothing.
是吗
This isn't the first time the screws in Alvin's head came loose. I say half-heartedly as I place the fresh-smelling signature blend on the table in front of Alvin, then turn around to ignore
哎
him.
玉恒怎么这么
Hey,
说
hey,
话
you can't talk like that, Bowen. Alvin starts laughing even harder when he sees my reaction, both hands still gently clutching the steaming hot mug of coffee.
难道是因为刚刚那位小姐吗？
Is it because of the lady just now? She was drenched from head to toe last time when she came in while I was pouring outside.
哎，什么时候的事？
Wait, when did that happen? Alvin exaggeratedly asks with wide eyes.
不久之前，
Not too long ago, I believe. It was around the time of the last wave of stationary fronts. Is that so? Alvin strokes his chin as he seems to be
玉恒还故
thinking
意
of
让人家
something.
欠他人情呢。
Bowen even purposely made her own one. Back!
才没有。
No, I didn't. I accidentally choke on my saliva hearing what Benedict is saying.
Wow.
Also, he's right next to Kathy. And, like, I assume Benedict is nearby too. Dang, you gotta teach me that, Master Bowen. Alvin suddenly sits up straight, palms together, looking at me with a pleading expression. He still has that brilliant smile on his face that can enchant others, but I can only sense an overflowing feeling of malice from it.
够了，靠你那
Enough of this. With a face like yours, you could probably get girls pining after you, even if you don't say anything. I roll my eyes at Alvin in frustration. So that's how Bowen sees me. I try rubbing the goosebumps off my arms as I watch Alvin fall into silence. Just then, I catch a glimpse of Kathy walking toward the counter with the menu.
不好意思，菜单。
Excuse me, the
给我就
menu.
行了。
Just give it to me. I take the menu from her, check the markings on it, then turn around and pass it on to the kitchen staff inside. How many people work at this cafe? Like, I feel like there are way too many people working here.
餐后再结账。
You can pay after the meal. I say to Kathy as I get ready to brew the signature blend coffee Kathy ordered.
好，谢谢。
Got it. Thanks. Kathy nods her head and goes back to her seat, picking up an English novel and starts to read it.
你眼光不错。
You've got some excellent taste, Bowen. She's a nice, quiet girl. Alvin says to me with a straight face, propping up his chin with both hands. I ignore his antics. I place the brewed coffee on an empty tray, intending to wait until the meal is ready before delivering them together. At this, Layla Layla comes out of the kitchen with the freshly made meal and places on the tray, and is about to deliver it to Kathy's table. After a split-second thought, I say to Layla,
我来吧。
let me do it. Layla stares blankly for a moment and raises her head to look at me, then lowers her long eyelashes. No problem. Her rosy lips curl slightly, and a faint, barely perceivable blush appears on her cheeks. Oh, is she into him too? Oh, is this... I mean, being a visual novel, I'm not surprised if this is a, like a harem situation, right? Like, are there gonna be routes that we, like, go down for different girls? I mean, so far, Kathy is best girl, but she's also, like, the first girl, right? I feel like best girl is always first, or usually first girl is best girl. Alvin sits to the side with his chin propped up, quietly watching the scene in front of him unfold with baby.
看来有一场好戏要上演了。
Oh, this is gonna be good. Alvin chuckles as his gleaming eyes fall upon the people conversing in the cafe. Huh? Hearing Alvin's remark, Benedict turns his head to face him without pausing the hand he's wiping the table with. An expression on his face that shows he's clearly confused about what Alvin said. Watch. Alvin leans back lazily in his chair, hand resting on the back of his head, with a mysterious smile on his face.
请你帮我一件事吗？
Could you help me with something?
怎么了？
Huh? What's up? As we previously discussed, Benedict and I are very good at English, so I have some of these books on coffee that I could use for help to translate.
想请你帮忙翻译。
I watch Kathy as I awkwardly scratch the top of my head while
如
talking.
果你愿意的话，
If you're willing, we can talk about payment. I say to her with a smile.
没问题。
Sure,
我也
but
是要先
I
看
would
过
need
你
to
要
see
翻
the
译的
content
内
you
容
want me to
我
translate
觉得我也
first
没有办法
before I can make sure I can
我也还在
I'm up to the task since I'm still learning myself.
那你什么时候能给
So
我说
so when can you give me the books? Then I can confirm as soon as possible. It looks like Kathy has accepted my proposal and seems eager to
我今
start.
天会把东西准备好。
I'll get the things ready today. Then you can start tomorrow. I open my mouth and say after a brief moment of consideration. If that's the case, would it be okay for me to come over again tomorrow when I don't have class to go over the material?
可以啊，时间的话就根据
Sure.
你自己的状况。
You can use you can set your own schedule
翻译就好。
based on your own situation. Then translate once you have free time. I could have sworn that sign changed.
没问题，谢谢你。
No problem. Or no problem. Thank you.
这次
The topics of our previous discussions all seem to revolve around coffee. I feel like you really like coffee, huh? Did we now? I must be pretty boring to talk to, right? I say as I laugh dryly.
我只是
Not at
好
all.
奇
I was just
你有什么特别的
curious.
事吗？
Was there a particular reason?
为什么吗？
Why do I? Mom, what are you doing? Mommy is brewing some coffee. Does my dear little Bowen want to try some? Something to drink? And it'll stunt my growth? Mom pours some coffee out of the kettle and into a mug. I reach out my hand to take it, putting the rim of the mug up to my nose and sniffing it. Smells nice. Smells like our house. That's right. It's the smell of our home. My mother smiles as she caresses the top of my head. You want to try? I nod hesitantly and take a small sip. The bitter taste overwhelms my mouth in an instant, with a disgusted look on my face. I swallow one sip after another of this supposed taste of home. You don't have to force yourself to finish it. My mom watches me with a doting chuckle. I shake my head and swallow the last drop. So bitter. Coffee is pretty bitter, just like how life can also be bitter. But coffee can also be like our home right now, warm and fulfilling. Man, she's like trying to be philosophical here. It's like, oh yeah, you think this is bitter? So is life. Wait till you're older. Mom laughs as she hands me another mug filled with a fruity scented coffee. I take a sip, the cool sensation unfurrowing my tightly knitted brow, the smooth mouthfeel making me unable to resist taking one sip after another till the mug is empty. That was delicious. Extremely bitter, but delicious. You want more? More! No can do. Kids shouldn't have so much coffee. It'll keep you up at night. And if you stay awake at night, the boogeyman might be out to get you. ... My mother says with dramatic flair, leave me frozen in fear. Look at you. You're so adorable. Seeing me shivering like that, Mom gently cradles me in her arms, laughing as she tenderly rubs the soft strands of my hair. Because this is the scent of my home. It's because of my parents that I fell in love with coffee at a young age. Is that so? What's the matter? You don't look too well. Is this where we find out like she's an orphan or something? Nothing really. It's just that on some level, I envy you. Envy me? I've never had a home. I'm homeless. I live under a bridge. Yeah, it's really nothing, to be honest. My dreams are not really supported by my parents because they're dead. Kathy's dreams? Last time she said it was... Oh no. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna save here. Okay. Did she actually tell us? Oh man, I've not been paying attention apparently. I feel like it was a foreign... You know, we're just gonna go with foreign language teacher. Your dream of becoming a foreign language teacher? She looks at me with confused eyes. Your dream of becoming a translator? We're just gonna load back. Whoa! Her dream of becoming a translator. Yeah, I wanted to become a translator, hoping that everyone can overcome the language barrier and enjoy many more wonderful books. Dang. I should have known that, I guess, but like at the same time, foreign language teacher, like, Yeah, I had no recollection of her saying she wanted to be a translator, even though we did offer her a temp job of translator. It's great that you have something that you want to do. Why are your parents against it? I stare uncomprehendingly at Kathy, who has a depressed look on her face. Kathy laughs hopelessly.
觉得这个职业赚
They
不了
think
大
that
钱。
there's not a lot of money to be made in this line of
我
work.
父母对于我
My
考上的大
parents
学似乎很
aren't
不满
particularly
意。
happy with the university I got
其
into.
实我也
To tell
算
the
是背着
truth,
父母选了间
I
离家很
chose
远的
a
大
university
学，
far
偷
from
偷
home.
填了外文系。
Behind their backs, secretly applying for the Department of Foreign
被他们
Languages.
发现后，也
When
因
they
为这
found
样
out,
他们和
we
我
even
冷
had a
战了好
falling
阵
out
子。
that lasted quite a while. That's why I sleep under a bridge right
我
now.
们的父母们总是
Our
希望
parents
自己
all
的
wish
成龙成凤，
that their children
为
can
着
succeed
在
and
未来
become
有更
something in
好的
life,
工作。
hoping that their kids can get respectable jobs in the future.
在这样的情况下成长着。
I grew up under the expectations of my parents during my school years. But this isn't what I want.
你也知道，
I know that realistically, I must be able to feed myself with my
我希
job.
望的是，
But
我能够利用自己所
my hope
学
is to be
和
able
有
to
兴
use
趣的
what
事
I've
物，
learned,
去找份
what
可以养活
interests
自己
me
的
to
工
find a
作。
job that can support me.
我不想迷失在这个只为了高学历而拼命读书的世
Move
界
my
里
legs, sorry. I don't want to be lost in the world where you only study hard for the sake of having a prestigious degree. ...
其实我也
Actually,
是这么想的。
I think so too. I feel awed by what she's saying, but then I smile, staring resolutely at
如果
her.
有天你被现
If
实逼得
someday
无处可去，
you find yourself trapped by reality, with nowhere to go, you'll always be welcome here. Huh?
谢谢你。
Thanks, I guess. Kathy says with her head lowered awkwardly. I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me or not, but out of the corner of my eye, I think I can see a slight blush on her cheeks. Seeing the way the girl in front of me is acting, I inexplicably feel a bit bashful and unsure where to put my hands, barely able to stand straight.
快点回去休息吧，快9点了。
You should take a break. It's almost 9
明天
o'clock.
见。
See you tomorrow.
明天见。
Yep, see you tomorrow. What do you mean take a break? You guys were just talking? I'm very confused. You were working, and you're like, you should go take a break. Bye. Like, what? Kathy waves goodbye and turned to leave. Dreams and reality. Huh? I dwell on it for some time, laughing bitterly to myself. And don't forget, we had an audience. We had Alvin and Benedict watching. I like how they didn't comment after.
这份麻烦送到6桌去。
Angela, deliver this to table 6, please. Benedict, busy with preparing the latte in his hands, calls through into the window that connects the back of the bar to the kitchen.
好的，马上来。
All right, I'm on it. She looks so nervous. A loud and energetic voice answers in the kitchen. Then a girl wearing a cafe uniform appears beside the bar, scooping up the tray, holding the meal order, and heading toward table 6. Like, honestly, oh, coffee. Like, this cafe feels very well staffed. And, like, Bowen's, like, worried about, like, not enough customers. You have to have a lot of customers for this many staff, right? It also seems like they're usually busy. Or I guess at the beginning they weren't. Espresso. Espresso has a strong taste. Usually, it is the base of other drinks, such as lattes, cappuccinos, macchiatos, mochas, and americanos. Of course, there are also people who just love the explosion of tastes that espressos bring on their own. Espresso is a beverage made by pouring high-pressure boiling water through the coffee ground. Angela is one of our new employees. She only works at Origin when she doesn't have class. Huh? Is that you, Kathy? Angela suddenly points at Kathy and exclaims as she is about to retract her hand that held the tray, having delivered the meal. Kathy, who has had her head down and was busy translating, jumps at the out-of-nowhere exclamation, abruptly raising her head. I notice the commotion happening over there and turn my head to see what is going on. Angela just yelled, Kathy, right?
孟轩，你
Angela, is this where you work?
没错没错。
Yeah. I've always wanted to ask you out for some coffee, but our schedules never matched, so it never worked
原来
out.
你之前说的就是这间咖啡
So
馆吗
this is the cafe you were
真巧
talking about before. What a small world. Kathy responds to Angela with a smile, and two of them start chatting away like long-lost friends, seemingly enjoying their conversation. But I've been coming to Origin a lot these days to help Bowen with translations. How come I've never run into you before?
梦轩该回厨房了，水槽的排水需要
Angela,
支
we
援。
need you back in the kitchen. The dishes at the sink aren't going to clean themselves. A cold and piercing voice comes from behind Angela. At the sound of the voice, Angela turns her head to face its source.
好的，
All right, Layla. Kathy, I've got to get back to work. That's why she's afraid.
快去快去。
All right, go. Poor Angela. Kathy's gaze unintentionally meets Layla's ice cold eyes. ... After holding each other's gaze for a moment, Layla nods her head and gives Kathy a small smile before heading back into the kitchen to work. What a charming girl. Kathy, with her cheeks slightly flushed and admiration flowing from her eyes, seems to be drawn to Layla's aloof charm. Excuse me. A few days later, there's a slight change in the weather. Again. You can sort of feel the effect the stationary front has on the weather, with drizzling rain outside the window. If it weren't for the AC, the hot and stuffy air would definitely be unbearable. With fewer customers in the afternoon, I take the opportunity to take out one of the English books I asked Kathy to translate, trying out some of the unique brewing methods and blends in it. The flavor actually does feel different from the way I usually brew.
What?
Well, thought I'd drive by to see you, Bowen, you rascal. I ignore his jabs and take out a new coffee mug, filling it with the freshly brewed coffee, at the same time making another signature blend like the one just now, placing it on the bar. New flavor? Looks like I've arrived just in time. Alvin says as he sits down in his usual seat, lowering his head to take a quick whiff, followed by a small sip, closing his eyes for a while to feel the coffee's rich flavor before parting his lips to say, needs to be sweeter. For a sugar fiend like you? I wordlessly stare at the guy in front of me, with his eyes closed, pretending to be an expert. You're the weirdo here. You never make anything sweet enough, even though you're from Taiwan. For your information, I have perfectly normal tastes. Is that supposed to be Tainan? I figured it was just a typo. I'm curious, is Tainan? Oh, Tainan City is it? Oh my goodness. Okay. I am bad at geography, so whoops. Yeah, Tainan City is a city in Taiwan. Is that the capital? No, okay. Taipei. Okay, I know of Taipei. So Tainan is just another city. Alvin's eyes suddenly pop wide open as he starts arguing with me, like a child throwing a tantrum because he can't get his candy. Sure. I take out a couple of sugar sticks from beside me and toss them onto his table. Knock yourself out. But I have to admit, the taste is pretty good. It's a special sort of aroma. Makes you want to stop and savor its flavor. Maybe you could use more variety? I lower my head in thought and respond to his feedback. Maybe. I guess. He absentmindedly says while looking out the window.
欢迎光临。
Welcome. Bella bursts through the front door of the cafe with a beaming smile on her face, looking like she's having a great
先
day.
生在忙吗？
Is Mr. Wu busy right now? I brought something over that I need you to check out.
需要你帮我一下
Bella says as she pulls a lightweight laptop out of her
没
bag.
问题。不介意的
I'll be
话
right there.
在吧
If
台
you don't
这边
mind, you
介
could
绍
wait
一
for
下
me at a seat next to the
好
bar.
的，
Sure. Bella sits in a seat next to Alvin, places the laptop on the bar, and spins it around to face the inside of the bar. I observe the girl with a serious expression in front of me, out of the corner of my eye, as I place the coffee mug on the table. After boiling the filtered water, I expertly start brewing the coffee. After preparing a signature blend for Bella, I place the coffee mug in front of her.
这个是目前
This is a draft of the article that we're planning to put out on the site. If you have no problems with it, I'll move on to discuss further details about the presentation with you. I take the wireless mouse from her hand and start browsing. As expected, the content is information about Origin. Her words leap off the screen with a life of their own. With just words and pictures, she is able to draw people in through the virtual web to create the feeling that Origin wishes to bring it to its customers. Perhaps this is why she has such a large following. Alvin secretly sizes up the girl sitting next to him, then looks at Bowen, who is focused on the laptop, and decides to engage the unknown girl in
你
conversation.
好啊，我叫做张左奇。
Hello there, my name is Alvin. Alvin shifts his body to the side to face Bella, trying to be friendly. Friendly. Oh, I thought that was selectable.
你好，你好。
Ah, hi, my name is Bella. Bella quickly puts down the coffee mug she was just sipping when she hears Alvin's voice and turns her head to
不用
greet
太拘
him.
束了，当自己家就行了。
Take it easy, make yourself at home.
说的好像是自己家一样。
Speaking as if this is your house. I quietly say without taking my eyes off the screen.
反正你也
Well,
一
you
直这么
must
说的
have said the same thing. What's the difference between you saying it and me saying it? Alvin raises an eyebrow at me, with the confidence that no one can
你
prove
们
him
一
wrong.
定是非常
You guys must be very close friends, right? How nice! Bella says,
没错没
laughing.
错，我们是好
Yes,
到
ma'am,
不
we
能
are
再
the
好的
best of
朋友哦
friends. He's a good for nothing freeloader.
朋友嘛
What?
你还是这样评
Is
价我
that
的
how
吗
you see me, Bowen? Yeah.
话说我总觉得
Speaking of
好像
which, have I met you somewhere? I feel like I have, or am I mistaken?
也许你
Huh?
是曾
Maybe you've seen one of my
看
posts.
过我贴文。
Oh well, that's a really good picture of fireworks. Bella doesn't answer. Instead, she fishes her cell phone out of her bag, quickly scrolls through it, and shoves the cell phone screen in front of Alvin's
看
face.
过这个吗？
Have you seen this
就
before?
是这个
Huh? Right, that's exactly it. Alvin stares at the cell phone screen in surprise. On it is Bella's personal page. On the thumbnail, you can see a charming girl dressed in classical attire, quietly standing next to the window. Also, her name is Yu Ying. At least her account name on Mistagram. Legally distinct. The brilliant lights of the street are reflected on the side of her face, forming a gorgeous virtual
有个同
feast.
学是你的粉丝
A classmate of mine is a big fan of
他一
yours.
直抢我手机
Really
就
likes
是
your
为了帮你
posts,
做个追踪
even trying to snatch my phone out of my hands this one time just to up your follower count. Alvin says with a bitter laugh.
诶，这样啊。
Oh, is that what happened?
所以
So,
你
did you follow me or not? Bella squints her eyes slyly and stares at Alvin with a mischievous grin on her face.
本人都站
Huh,
在我面前
with
了
you standing here in the
就
flesh,
过去
how can I say no? Alvin laughs as he digs his cell phone out of his pocket, tapping it open after entering Bella's name into the search bar and pressing down hard on the follow button without a second thought.
欢迎啊，陈小
Huh?
姐。
Welcome, Miss Chen. Benedict comes out of the kitchen, wiping drops of water off his hands as he greets Bella.
店长大哥啊，别这么见外，
Ah,
叫我
it's
一
the
声
shop
就好
manager.
了。
We're no strangers. Call me Bella. Bella says with a playful tone, her enchanting voice a delight for those who are listening.
我看完了
I'm done. I say as I hand the wireless mouse back to Bella. So, how do you feel about it, Mr. Wu, now that you're done reading? Bella asks timidly, with her hands clutched tightly together. The anxiety she is feeling is palpable.
你太拘谨了在我
No need to be so formal. Calling me Bowen is fine. I say, seeing the nerves dripping off Bella. If we can call each other by name, it should reduce the distance between us, correct? At least, that's what I think. Okay. Bella happily nods her head after hearing my words.
写得很好
I think what you wrote was great, and I have no issues with it, so ease up a bit. I watch Bella as I tell her how I truly feel about it. Excellent! Bella smiles as if a great weight has been lifted off
还
her.
以为你已经很习
I
惯
thought
跟
you were
商家
used
合
to
作了
working
呢
with other businesses. I didn't think you'd be so on edge. Benedict, who's staying next to Bella, stares at her and says in shock, Haha, you still get nervous. Every single time I put my work up for the client to go over, I feel like I'm being stripped naked for all to see. To show that she really was nervous before, Bella even shakes her body in an exaggerated manner. I get you. It's a feeling you get when you're about to take a big test, right? I still feel super tense every time I arrive at the examination hall for a test, even after making flawless preparations and studying super hard for it. Alvin echoes Bella's comment with a serious face. Wow, I wasn't even going to make fun of you, and you still managed to dig your own grave. I say to Alvin with a wisecracking voice. Off to the side, Benedict laughs loudly after hearing my remark. You son of a... What's that supposed to mean? It means that you sure are ever seriously studied, or even prepared for a test? Oh, you sure you ever seriously studied, or even prepared for a test? Still laughing, Benedict pats Alvin on the shoulder like he is trying to comfort him. Hey, you two better watch it. Alvin starts vigorously waving his arms around and loudly protesting to us. Oh, so you never prepare, huh? Bella bursts out laughing at the sight of Alvin's tomfoolery. Alright, that's enough. No more talking about me. Alvin slams the table forcefully, hoping to distract everyone with the loud sound. Getting back on track. I think you did an excellent job writing it. You don't have to doubt yourself so much. I shake my head at the sight of Alvin, with the corners of my mouth slightly raised. I tell Bella my thoughts with a smile. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Actually, I often think the only way I can help the stores I visit is through promotions. So I'll be happy if I can help everyone in some way. After hearing my praise, Bella's face instantly turns bright red and tells us gratefully. But I was thinking, if what you wish for is a breakthrough for the cafe itself, then what you need is probably to innovate the way you think. Bella opens her mouth and asks us for a moment. After a moment, spent in deep contemplation. Yeah, I think so too. I nod my head in agreement to Bella's point of view. But your work promoting us is also necessary. That's how we get more people to know about us and develop new customer bases. Benedict gently says to Bella, like he is trying to cheer Bella on, slowly revealing his thoughts to Bella. Yep. Bella seems to read between Benedict's lines, curling the edges of her lips and giving the sweetest of smiles. Innovation, huh? That's the hard part. Alvin has one of his rare serious expressions on his face as he mumbles to himself. Yeah, we have to realize copying someone else's success is a very terrifying thing to do. I say quietly, watching the shops scattered across the street. That's right. A good example would be all the egg tarts and unmanned claw machines littered all over the streets of Taiwan a while ago. Bella says as she chuckles dryly, reminiscing the egg tarts that once took over Taiwan by storm. Seeing the success of others and chasing after big trends, I think that you can become the next big thing. Not realizing that throwing yourself blindly to a market is a terrifying thing, because you're not doing the right thing at the right time. So, as the popularity of the trend fades over time, so will your customers, and that is when you go out of business. When you put it all like that, I can see how difficult, how important innovation can be. Alvin shrugs, shaking his head slightly as he makes a remark. Are you alright? Or, are you alright? I don't think I recall ever seeing you so down before. The dejected expression on Alvin made me want to poke fun at him. But because I always thought that all Bowen had to do was follow in his parents' footsteps in running the store, that he could take over Origin and run it without a hitch, forever and ever, until he dies of old age. Alvin mumbles glumly, his head sinking lower and lower. When we were kids, Bo and I would often see Bowen's parents come up with a ton of ideas for new products, and would debate how they could do better every time they tried out something new. Or be sick with worry about trivial things like logistics, workers, budgets, design, and so on. Because of that, I used to think that Bowen's parents had already weathered the tough parts. Alvin finished speaking and gazes at all of us with an embarrassed look on his face.
原来如此，
I see. So that's why you thought that once Bowen's parents hand over Origin to Bowen, it would be smooth sailing from then on, with no further need to expand the business? Upon hearing Alvin's thoughts, Benedict chuckles and says to Alvin warmly, Yeah, I did think of that, actually. Even once your brand is already stable and has established a reputation, if you don't want to be obscured by the market, or even if you just want to expand your business, you will face so many prickly situations.
毕竟品牌的价值是一点一滴堆叠出来的。
After all, the value of a brand is a accumulation of hard work over a long period of time. That's why we want to make our brand have more persuasiveness and staying power, right guys? Bella gives her conclusion with a beaming smile after seriously considering our discussion.
这也是品牌的珍贵之
That's
处哦
right. That's also where the value of a brand lies.
那今天要讨论的事情差不多。
Then I guess that's all we have to discuss today. Alright?
没错，
Yep.
辛苦你了。
Thanks a lot. I put the mouse in my hand down and
这没
smiled.
什么啦，小事
This is
而已。
nothing. Nothing at all. Bella's cheeks slightly blush as she laughs and speaks.
欢迎
欢迎光临。
Welcome! I ready myself in preparation for the next batch of customers. Benedict also returned to his
那先视
station.
频了。
I'll be off then.
没问题。
Yeah, sure. As Bella returns her laptop to her bag, I've already prepared the menu and I'm ready to show the customers to their seats. Meanwhile, Alvin sits there browsing through his phone without interest, head down, and looking like he is bored out of his mind. Bella, on the other hand, sits there sipping her coffee, sneakily gauging Alvin. Although Alvin notices Bella's occasional glances, he isn't interested in engaging in conversation. Alvin? Bella asks quietly. Hearing the sound, Alvin turns to look to the left, where Bella is. She has her hands cupped to her face, like she's mimicking a megaphone. What's up?
我第一次见到你，
Since I first saw you, I've been wanting to ask you, aren't you that hotshot sprinter who can run really fast? Alvin eyes the girl in front of him with question marks on his face. I'm good at sprinting, sure, but I don't think I'm that good.
哦，那
Oh,
应该
it
就是
must be
你
you
的
then,
菜
no doubt. The girls around me
身边的女孩
always like to
们
talk
怎么
about
喜
you.
欢讨论你呢？
Realization suddenly hits Bella, and she stares at Alvin with a mysterious look on her face. Alvin uncertainly watches Bella's smiling face, a chill starting to trickle down his back the longer he holds her
你觉
gaze.
得我该跟那
You
几
think
个
I
男
should
的说
tell the
说
girls that you
你
often show up at
常常
Origin?
出现在
Bella
眼前吗
starts appraising Alvin with a conniving smile on her face, as if she's cooking up a scheme. Bella right now looks like the big bad wolf who's about to trick Little Red Riding Hood. All she's missing are the fluffy ears and the wagging tail. Eh? Alvin goes speechless, staring at Bella in a panic.
开玩笑的，
I was just
我才没
kidding.
有那
I'm
么
not
无
that
聊
boring. Bella sticks her tongue out, returning to her usual manner of talking.
我只是有
I
点事
just
情
have something that I could
想
use your
请帮
help with. Bella blinks her pretty eyes and stares expectantly at Alvin. After taking the customer's order, I return to the other side of the bar to watch Alvin and Bella fooling around. Their actions unexpectedly bringing a laugh out of me. Might as well use the opportunity to practice blooming with the pour-over method. Oh no, I missed the eye!
包办事情
There, I didn't see the objects there.
这钱
Dagnabbit.
可以抓出风味的咖啡豆来练练手吧。
For a petal-shaped dripper, choose a light roasted coffee bean with a flavor that is hard to extract to practice. I carefully read the instructions for petal-shaped drippers and make up my mind to practice this more difficult dripping method to brew a more flavorful coffee. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, we're gonna prep the paper, or pre-warm. Okay, boom, boom. Okay. I'm glad it's so nice and easy. Oh my goodness. Okay. What? Okay. Ah! I wonder, are all of these real, like, methods? I never used any of these when I worked at the cafe. Granted, it wasn't for, like, a super long time, but still. I mean, I mostly did stuff with espresso, no, like, pour-overs or anything. Bum, bum,
本
bum.
来挺成功的呢。
It seems to be a success. Looking at the coffee in my hand, I smile confidently. Might as well save. Chapter 3, Taking the Initiative.
玉恒啊，你喜欢吃什么？
You know what? I think I'm gonna stop here for today. You know what? Yeah, we'll do that. And then we can continue at a later time. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, this is a bit of a different change in pace. I hope you have a great day, night, evening, whatever time zone you're in. Take care. Bye.